my name is Dr. Satvindar Madhok, and I am the Director and the Chief Technology Officer for Barclays Bank, and I manage the technology infrastructure there. I've been in that role roughly about 2 years now, and prior to that I used to work for JP Chase. I was also the Chief Technology Officer, the CTO for the retail bank, managing infrastructure, application support, and performance engineering, quality assurance, risk and controls, and audits. And prior to that also I was a part of Barclays, which is Barclays Bank, and I was one of the first person to be the infrastructure service delivery head of Barclays India when it was set up in 2008. I'm an Australian American. I've lived in Australia for many years, and prior to that I've been in the US. I've done my MS in information systems from US, and I've also done my PhD in business management, where my specialty is technology service operations as well as technology risk and governance, and I have a minors in demographic and institutional economics. Journey has been wonderful. I'm a global citizen. I have parents of Indian origin. I've been born in India. I was raised in India. Moved international for my education. Lived there many, many years. About 20 plus years I've been living overseas. And now I've come back into the country to be able to contribute meaningfully to the set of people that actually made me what I am today. One of the most important things that changed me in my life has been mentorship. I don't think so that I would have been what I am today if there was no mentorship available, because that is like the guru-shishya relationship that you have in the ancient culture of the Vedic civilization. Because mentor is one person that understands you the best, knows your strengths, uses your strength to your advantage, and ensures that all your opportunities can be converted into strengths at a later stage. So I strongly recommend that any student wanting to look upon a career for themselves and have a long distance future of being the future CEOs, CTOs, and the MDs of a firm, I think the most important thing for us is to have mentorship, because earlier in years, if you're molded well, life becomes a lot easier for you to be able to settle down into the career path that you want to choose from. I didn't desire to be a technology engineer. It happened by chance. I originally wanted to be a doctor. That my intention was never to be an engineer. But then as I realized over a period of time that medicine was something that was more enforced upon me rather than my choice, I decided to switch over to engineering and took upon engineering. And as I headed to US, the choices were galore. So one of the opportunities that I looked at upon as to how do I self-fund things, because I didn't want to spend my parents' money on it. So my career started off with working in Starbucks. So I'm a certified Starbucks barista as well from Starbucks University. I prepare beautiful coffee like anybody else does. I've been working there for 2 years during my MS program. I also took on part-time assignments elsewhere to be able to sustain my education. Now, post my education getting over, because I had a beautiful GPA of 4 out of 4, my dean recommended me to the employment place through the alumni partnership that we have at the university in US. And that's how I got my first job. I was a very junior network engineer, and that is where my life started to change for once. I was a very introvert engineer with bare amount of communication. My language controls weren't good. I could not look into the eye and talk to the people. My accent was very heavily accented Indian English. I didn't look global, and I felt very out of the place. One, because I looked unique, and second, my language wasn't good at all. Because these were the soft skills that you were never trained in the engineering school. Then as I was offered a mentorship, and that mentorship changed me completely. So the transformation journey that you see, I wouldn't even say transformation, I'd probably say metamorphosis of my journey of the last 20 years has been completely mentorship driven. And my mentor, I would permanently thank her for the rest of my life, being such an able mentor, Angela, and she is the one who's actually transformed me from a caterpillar to a butterfly. What you see today is completely her journey. She guided me at every stage of my career, and I met her in my first opportunity, in my first job. And for the next 3 years, she chiseled me, polished me, cut me, made sure that I came out as a pristine professional, as a better human being, and a more adaptable person than I ever was in my life. My change of my communication style, the change of my behavior, the change of my attire included, everything was actually flipped over by my mentor, who changed my opportunities to my advantage. So that was the beginning of the journey that I actually started off with. Once I had completed 2 or 3 years, she moved on into another organization, and I decided to move into another one. And that's when I took the next jump into getting into the next level of roles, which is program management. That is where I really put the mentorship skills that I acquired into use, which is the art of influencing people, because as a program manager, nobody reports into you, but you're still expected to get things done. the art of networking as to how do you connect with people, because ultimately connections are going to matter in your life. As you work in big companies, it's all going to be about connections. Third, how truthful and honest you are with your opinions and beliefs, and how data driven you are, because as people work from different cultures and countries, everybody has a context to what they say. Anything that's not data driven, you normally would not find too much of acceptability, because culturally people are different, but data is only one language. And that's the reason the art of understanding how data is driven was imbibed in the early 2000s, when data wasn't even the new oil. So anything in my life, both personal or professional, I only look at data before I decide anything. With that, what happens, you become apersonal, you come out of your biases, and you make an informed, non-judgmental decision about what needs to be done in your career. I think here are my top 5 takes for anybody aspiring to be a senior executive in any of the bank, or the C-suite executives as they call it. Top of the list is going to be communication, because if that's not clear, people can't understand you. If they can't understand you, they can't work for you. So everybody needs to understand you exactly the same way, because culturally the same word can have different meaning to different people. So I think communication would be my #1 criteria for anybody wanting to succeed. Second criteria is going to be personal integrity. In your life, you can't be supervised for everything in your life. And one of the most important things is you need to be governed by your own consciousness. For example, in this part of the world, as I came into this country, I realized that only 3% of the people pay income tax, which looked a little strange to me. But I can guarantee you from my personal experience, I dodge 0 taxes. I pay all my global taxes in this country, and I'm a better Indian than most Indians are, because I pay 100% of my taxes truthfully in this country. This is personal integrity to me. I'm a banker, and I need to be honest first with myself before people can trust with their money with me. The third most important thing in my life that's extremely essential is skill upgrade, acceptance of change. I'm non-judgmental. I have teams that are scattered across 27 countries, 3 continents, cultures, nationalities, gender, sexual orientation, race, educational standards, qualifications, accents, everything is different. With 827 odd people that I have across the world that I manage in my present role, doesn't make any difference. I accept all differences as mine and say, okay, it's still one company, and I'm pragmatic about it. So there's nothing right or wrong in my life. Everything is just subject to it's different. So with that, acceptance of change makes it very easy for me to integrate my global teams into a single organization. The fourth most important thing is upgrade of skills. My hunger for knowledge and thirst for acquiring new skills is unsatiable. Even at this point in time, I continue to upgrade to what is coming up in the next future, because I need to be future ready and future proofing my career as well. Second, because I'm also a professor who teaches management courses in various places, I need to make sure that my students get the best out of it. Second, they also have a plan and a career plan for their growth as well tomorrow. So that's something that I continue to upgrade, and I strongly recommend anybody wanting to get into careers that upgrade and change are going to be constant in their life. Anybody that's not subject to upgrade, I can absolutely tell you your career will stagnate, and 3 to 5 years you're out of positions. That's exactly what's happening in middle-age India today, where most managers at the age of 35, 40 are at a midlife crisis, unable to decide which way to go. The simple reason is they haven't upgraded for the last 10 years, and now they have no career path going forward. The last thing that I would strongly recommend is networking and people skills. While we continue to work with computers, we've become too plastic with our emotions as well. I think one of the most important things that we still need to remember is there are humans behind those computers that we still need to think about. We are trying to drive the computers faster, cheaper, and better, but it's coming at a cost of huge amount of human emotions. I think we as managers need to be very sensitive to our people's needs and be respectful to our people's careers and lives, and make sure that everybody has an appropriate and sort of a happiness quotient as they continue to work in organizations. So acquiring people skills, networking and connecting with people, having the right empathy to the people would be the next set of people skills that I think are strongly recommended to budding managers, because computers are not going to give you what you want. It's the humans behind the computers that are going to give you what you want. So my suggestion is these would be my top 5 skills that I think would take careers higher, and that's driven me. But at the top of the heap, I would strongly recommend please get a mentor for yourself who can direct your careers, guide your future, and make sure that you have a career path going forward as you progress in your lives. And I wish everyone immense luck, success, and a great future ahead. Thank you so much for your time. Wonderful speaking to all of you once again.